In this video, Elon Musk drops the hammer, goes against the grain once again. What a shock. Elon Musk doing something different and, dare I say it, better. And lays down the law at Tesla. First up, Tesla stock today down over 2%. Wild swings once again. Surprise of fucking prize. For a little bit of perspective, over the last 5 days, Tesla stock up close to 20%. Over the last 1 month, down close to 20%. Let that sink in. Over the last 6 months, down over 30%. Over the 1 year, up over 22%. I still cannot, what even is this? I still can't get over how ridiculously cheap Tesla stock looks to me today. I mean, bruh, less than $750 per share? If you suck at math. Hypothetically speaking, if Tesla at some point in the future was to reach, say, $10,000 per share, we're looking at an almost 15x increase from where we are today, on a stock that's already done about a 15x increase over the last few years. I really can't. I mean, seriously. I know I keep repeating myself because this still continues to be the bargain of the fucking century, in my opinion. The Nasdaq 100 today down 0.75%. The ARK Innovation ETF getting smashed down almost 4%. Apple down almost 0.1%. Amazon up over 1%. Alphabet barely moving. Rivian down close to 4%. And Lucid Motors down over 3%. I don't know how much longer the fear and panic in the stock market will last, but I tell you one thing, between you and I hope it lasts indefinitely because I'm still buying the absolute fuck out of Tesla stock. And now, let's get into the main course of today's video. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, there's a bunch of ways you can support the channel, access exclusive content and perks. Check out the links in the pinned comment below. If you want to take it to the next level, join thousands of members on Patreon to gain exclusive access to over 100 Q&A videos, loads of exclusive content, exclusive access to my up-to-date 10-year Tesla stock price targets, and even access my Tesla valuation model at the investor support level and above. You can also pick up some Tesla, Elon, and investment themed merch in the merch store, so check out the links in the pinned comment below, and thanks for your support. Let's check out this email from Elon Musk, sent yesterday to executive staff within Tesla. Subject: remote work is no longer acceptable. By the way, spoiler alert, this is how to write an email. Put the point of your fucking email in the subject every time and then elaborate. This is the best way to optimize your time and not waste the time of other people. Seriously, this is the biggest hack that I've come across in terms of emails. Elon gets this. You don't even need to read the email to go, oh, okay, remote work is no longer acceptable. Cool. Let's read on. Anyone who wishes to do remote work must be in the office for a minimum, and I mean minimum, of 40 hours per week, or depart Tesla. This is less than we ask of factory workers who, in case you can't figure it out, can't work remotely. If there are particularly exceptional contributors for whom this is impossible, I will review and approve those exceptions directly. Moreover, the office must be a main Tesla office, not a remote branch office unrelated to job duties. For example, being responsible for Fremont factory human relations, but having your office be in another state. Thanks, Elon. And a follow-up email. Everyone at Tesla is required to spend a minimum of 40 hours in the office per week. Moreover, the office must be where your actual colleagues are located, not some remote pseudo office. If you don't show up, we will assume you have resigned, aka we won't be paying you any longer. The more senior you are, the more visible you must be in your presence. That is why I lived in the factory so much, so that those on the line could see me working alongside them. If I had not done that, Tesla would long ago have gone bankrupt. There are of course companies that don't require this, but when was the last time they shipped a great new product? It's been a while. Tesla has and will create and actually manufacture the most exciting and meaningful products of any company on Earth. This will not happen by phoning it in. Thanks, Elon. This email is in contrast to practically every other company on the goddamn fucking planet at this point in time who are encouraging workers to either remotely work as much as they want or a hybrid model in which they have to attend the office at least once a week or maybe even twice a week if you're lucky. I'm just gonna say it, I think the whole world's gone soft. I think companies are trying to appease their employees a little too much. In fact, a lot too much. I'm not gonna name any specific examples, but many companies, especially big tech companies at this point in time, are literally held hostage to the loudest, noisiest, naggingest employees at the company. If 3 people whine and complain about something enough, a multi-billion-dollar company, a cent-to-billion-dollar company, maybe even a few trillion-dollar companies will just bend over and do whatever it takes to keep their employees happy because, oh my gosh, it'd be terrible if 3 idiots left the company. Let me pose a question to everyone watching. If you were able to work remotely, and many of you probably currently are working remotely, if you're honest with yourself, if you actually consider your productivity, your output, how much you accomplish in any given week, in general, do you accomplish more by working at home, remotely, or by being in the office? I suspect most people, if they're honest with themselves, would admit, you know what, if I'm in the office, I'm a little more accountable, I'm going to get more shit done. Think about this from another angle. Imagine you're working from home and your girlfriend crawls under your desk on her hands and knees and attempts to distract you while you're working remotely. Is it possible that you may not actually put in a full 8-hour day of productivity under those circumstances? And if that's the case, would a scenario like this ever happen if you were working in person in your office? Probably not, unless you have a very unusual office environment. Now, in fairness, today with technology, it's totally viable and possible to work remotely and be at least as productive, if not more so. No commute time, blah, blah, blah. But in general, I think if we're all being honest with ourselves, we all know that the majority of people are likely to be more productive and more focused at work if they're actually working in the office and more accountable than working, quote unquote, working from home. To me, this email from Elon Musk suggests quite clearly that he ain't fucking around, that Tesla is extremely serious about their mission. And if you're not all in, not completely committed, not willing to put in the hours, you're not really bought into the mission, please kindly fuck off and go work somewhere else where they don't really care. Let me give a really recent example. Twitter, who allow employees to basically do whatever the fuck they want, unfortunately, recently called out on this YouTube channel, it's gone into the media now as well, there's a gigantic bug, an inexplicable glitch on Elon Musk's profile here, still today, despite being called out and having this covered by the New York Post and so on. The bug still ain't fixed. Now, I am using the term bug loosely. Of course, I'm sure that's what Twitter's going to explain it away as in the future. Oh, it's because his profile is so popular, that's why his tweets don't load. Too many inquiries. It's totally our fault. We made a mistake. We're not trying to suppress Elon. It was just a mistake. Isn't it stunning that despite this being brought to the attention of everyone, and there's no question many people within Twitter saw this article. I mean, bruh, you really think a company employing this many people doesn't hear the New York Post said, oh, Elon Musk tweets aren't loading. This guy called him out. Why is it that they still haven't fixed the fucking problem? It's now, 48 hours later? Still not resolved. Could that have anything to do with the Twitter employees not really pulling their weight? Maybe they're all having a mental health day and just trying to relax because the big, bad, scary billionaire Elon Musk is trying to buy their company and ruin their lives and they needed to take some time off. But seriously though, this is one great example of that. This shit would never happen at Tesla. You got a problem? Fixed instantly. Get the job done. As I said, everyone's gotten too soft. And this is really important for Tesla stock investors. This is another insight into how different Tesla is, how much more mission-focused the company, and how unwilling to tolerate people who aren't pulling their weight the company is. It is my belief that employees who really care about a company's mission will be fine with the inconvenience of having to be physically present in their office for at least 40 hours a week, and those employees who instead are absolute fucking bludgers, by the way, that's an Australian slang term, let me define that for those of you who are unaware. So here we are, this is the official definition of a bludger. A person who avoids working or doing their share of work, a loafer, a hanger-on, one who does not pull their weight. Now I know this is controversial, but I have a funny feeling. If you could somehow define the amount of bludgers versus people that are actually pulling their weight within companies just about anywhere on earth, I think Tesla would have the least number of bludgers in percentage terms of their entire workforce of just about any other company on the planet. Meaning that they're more resourceful, they get more done with less, they're more efficient, they're more profitable, and overall they're just a better company, including from an investment point of view. It seems that almost every single decision that Tesla ever makes, including from the top down from Elon Musk, goes against the grain, the consensus, what everyone else is doing. Oh yeah, remote work, take your fucking 12 years of mental health days because somebody said that you're fat and fat's bad and you might die of obesity and therefore they hate you and you need a few years to recover from that terrible, horrific hate crime. Meanwhile, Tesla's busy getting their mission accomplished. Now let's look at a few quick examples of Tesla's corporate hierarchy, the structure, the way things are done and why they're different and, dare I say it, superior to basically every other company on the planet. Here's an email Elon Musk sent out a little while ago. If an email is sent from me with explicit directions, there are only 3 actions allowed by managers. 1. Email me back to explain why what I said was incorrect. Sometimes I'm just plain wrong. 2. Request further clarification if what I said was ambiguous. 3. Execute the directions. If none of the above are done, that manager will be asked to resign immediately. And now winding the clock back 5 years, 2017, one of my favorite all-time emails from Elon Musk. This was such a compelling insight into Tesla and why they're so different from practically every other company. And imagine that, different company, different corporate hierarchy, different structure, managed differently, different results, changing the world, dominating, embarrassing everyone anywhere they look. It's almost as if Elon Musk is running his companies, especially Tesla, more efficiently and effectively than any other CEO on the goddamn planet. If you have any examples that contradict this, that any other companies that are operating even more efficiently, effectively, logically, and resourcefully than Tesla, please let me know in the comments below. And it is really important as a Tesla stock investor to understand this stuff. This is the kind of thing behind the scenes that investors don't look at. This doesn't fit in a Wall Street analyst spreadsheet. What cell do you put this email in? You don't. This is why they miss a lot about Tesla. Let's read this. Subject: communication within Tesla. There are two schools of thought about how information should flow within companies. By far the most common way is chain of command, which means that you always flow communication through your manager. The problem with this approach is that, while it serves to enhance the power of the manager, it fails to serve the company. Instead of a problem getting solved quickly, where a person in one department talks to a person in another department and makes the right thing happen, people are forced to talk to their manager, who talks to their manager, who talks to the manager in the other department, who talks to someone on his team. Then the info has to flow back the other way again. This is incredibly dumb. Yes, it is, Elon. If you read between the lines here, it means that practically every company on the planet is incredibly dumb. Let it sink in. Any manager who allows this to happen, let alone encourages it, will soon find themselves working at another company. No kidding. And this, one of my favorites in the entire email. Quote, anyone at Tesla can and should email or talk to anyone else according to what they think is the fastest way to solve a problem for the benefit of the whole company. And just a quick interlude here, as somebody who has literally received formal warnings at previous jobs for doing this, you know, trying to solve a problem efficiently. Oh my god, you have to talk to... I really relate to this. It drives me fucking bananas. It's stunning that almost every company on earth doesn't get this. You can talk to your manager's manager without his permission. You can talk directly to a VP in another department. You can talk to me. You can talk to anyone without anyone else's permission. Moreover, you should consider yourself obligated to do so until the right thing happens. The point here is not random chit-chat, but rather ensuring that we execute ultra fast and well. We obviously cannot compete with the big car companies in size. Fast forward 5 years, very different story. So we must do so with intelligence and agility. Isn't it amazing to see what 5 years of intelligence and agility has accomplished for Tesla? One final point is that managers should work hard to ensure that they are not creating silos within the company that create an us versus them mentality or impede communication in any way. This is unfortunately a natural tendency and needs to be actively fought. How can it possibly help Tesla for departments to erect barriers between themselves or see their success as relative within the company instead of collective? We are all in the same boat. Always view yourself as working for the good of the company and never your department. Thanks, Elon. I think the summary from what we've seen here in today's video is quite simple. From Elon's perspective, his general directive to people working at Tesla is quite simple. 1. Use your brain. 2. Do what makes sense. And 3. Don't be a bludger. If you can't agree with any of these principles, get the fuck out of this company and go work somewhere like Twitter, or Facebook, or Apple, or Amazon, or Google. And we'll keep innovating, making incredible products, and changing the world. This is definitely a very bullish signal for Tesla stock investors. Elon Musk, so mission-centric that once again, he doesn't want any fucking bludgers sitting around, oh, working from home? Yeah, sure you are. Now, I get it. Some people can actually be very productive working from home, and in some cases, they will actually be more productive and more efficient. But in general, I understand human nature. I am, after all, a human being, as are every one of you, and if you're honest about it, we all know the same shit. On average, people working from home are less likely to be as productive, resourceful, and efficient as people working in an office who are far more accountable because they are directly under their eyes of not only their colleagues, but their managers and or boss. I think the only general exceptions to this rule are people who work for themselves, who care so much about their own business, their company, their mission, that it doesn't really matter where they're working because they hold themselves accountable. I'd love to know what you guys and girls think. Is this reasonable? Does it make sense? Is it a little harsh? As a Tesla stock investor, how do you feel about this? And how many snowflakes do you think are going to get mad by the fact that they can't work from home anymore and leave Tesla to go work for Twitter or Apple or Amazon or Google? This is a great way to purge and cleanse the company of some of the dead weight. And just finally, speaking of dead weight, I am of course referring to Twitter's engineers. Shout out to my next shadow ban. I just wanted to once again emphasize this point and bring things full circle. As I mentioned earlier in this video, after being exposed publicly on YouTube, on Twitter, and yes, it's even made it into the New York Post, etc., You'd think at this point in time, the Twitter engineers would be scrambling to fix this incredibly inappropriate bug, glitch in the system that's inadvertently or intentionally suppressing Elon Musk's thoughts, opinions, and ideas on Twitter. You know, after being publicly called out and so on, you'd think that they'd be on it, right? Pretty urgent thing to deal with. The biggest, most important account on Twitter. People can't actually scroll through previous tweets and replies. You'd think they'd fix that by now, right? But clearly the culture at Twitter is all about being the biggest fucking bludger you possibly can. Case in point, let's scroll through Elon's tweets and replies and see if they've fixed this major issue. Just gonna page down here and see what happens. Let's get right down to the end. A few tweets loaded. Oh, maybe they fixed the bug. Look at this. The tweets are loading now. This is great, amazing. Elon's tweet. But damn. Still not fixed. Look at that. Can't scroll any further on Elon's profile. Not great. I wonder what the Twitter employees are doing today rather than fixing this obvious problem that's been brought to light and received an extreme amount of coverage. I guess they must be taking a mental health day to deal with the fact that they've been exposed either as incompetent, imagine a bug like this existing, or nefarious. I'll leave that up to you, ladies and gentlemen, to decide which is which. And just one final comment to all you bludgers who are currently watching this video on YouTube, or at least listening to it while your boss is paying you for working. I know there's plenty of you. I don't think you'd ever cut it at Tesla. Just saying. And lastly, don't forget to join Patreon with the card in the corner or the link in the pinned comment. I'm going to be posting a massive update to my Tesla price targets and valuation model in the next 24 hours, so stay tuned for that. Plus, all Patreon supporters gain access to well over 100 exclusive Q&A videos and loads of other content and perks. So, what are you doing with your life? Join Patreon, and I'll see you over there. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, there's a bunch of ways you can support the channel, access exclusive content and perks, and get some free stocks and crypto. Check out the links in the pinned comment below. You can also pick up some Tesla, Elon, and investment themed merch in the merch store. If you want to take it to the next level, join thousands of members on Patreon to gain exclusive access to over 100 Q&A videos, loads of exclusive content, exclusive access to my up-to-date 10-year Tesla stock price targets, and even access my Tesla valuation model at the investor support level and above. So check out the links in the pinned comment below, and thanks for your support. And if you're still watching, you're awesome. I read every single comment on this channel, and I really appreciate your feedback. So if you've got any thoughts on today's video, questions, comments, or suggestions for a new video, let me know in the comments below. Check the cards on screen now to browse the merch store, join Patreon, or watch the next video.